remember the movie Juice came out in the '90s. You know, Tupac and Omar Epps and all of them, right? So Q, the dude Q, the star of the movie, comes in and he tries to try out, and Queen Latifah looked at him and said, "Yeah, you know, you local DJ." And she kind of sunned him a little bit, and I sunned him a whole lot, really. But you know what? That's who I am, and that's who my crew is, really. But the difference is we local, but we're good at what we're doing, and I think it's okay to be local if you're good at your craft and people feeling what you're doing and all of that. You know, like I said, when I was on the Fox Five DJ segment they had in DC a couple years ago, and I told the person that was interviewing me, I said, um, I already know that I'm not gonna be famous, man. I'm too old for that. You know, that time has passed. I didn't get that kind of shot, but it's all right. And the reason I'm saying all of this is to say, as long as you enjoy what you're doing and you can get paid for what you're doing, because we're getting paid for what we're doing, and I'm content with it. I always tell the guys, I said, man, this is not. Uh, I don't know for sure. I don't think it's. You making a. You can't retire off what we're making, but my crew is. They paying bills with this with the best part time job in Virginia. So I'm content with that. I'm happy with that. Um, I started DJing in 1983. Again, I'm local, so I'm from a small town in Virginia, and you know when I first started out, I didn't even like music. I didn't want nothing to do with it. We played video games and baseball and basketball and football and stuff like that. I didn't care anything about it, and I realized I was too little to play anything at a super competitive level. So that dream was done also. So but I was good in school. So and I like to read. So I'm the quote unquote nerd of the crew, which I'm all right with that as well. Um, things kind of worked out for me. But I'm gonna bring it full circle and just say that my friends got me into DJing. I went to my first house party. I think I was like 11 or 12. My sister never wanted me go anywhere with her because my sister was like my sister that's like right after me, a little older than me. My other brothers and sisters were just about gone at that time, moving on with their adult lives and so forth. But my sister that's closest to me in age, she she finally let me come to a party with her. And one of the guys from around the way, my man Happy, he used to DJ. And on the radio back in the '80s and the '80s, young people, you don't realize this, you don't remember this, but they would play rap songs on the radio, and they wouldn't even play the version with the words in it. It would be just instrumentals until the message came along. Obviously, they play Rappers Delight on the radio and Christmas rapping by Curtis Blow and all that, but it wasn't a lot of hip hop on the radio. So if you heard underground or music that was popular in the hood, you had to go to a party or a club. We're obviously too young to go to clubs, so we go and listen to these house parties. And my man had all the music that and a whole lot of stuff that you had never heard. Especially, I know I'd never heard it. But see, then you get there, you get to the house party. I didn't dance anything like that. I was scared of girls. I was like 12, I think. And you know, dudes got two turntables back there and whatever. I didn't even get close enough to really see what was popping back there. But they playing stuff that you never heard, man. That was fascinating to me. It was loud, the bass was knocking, and the people was going crazy in this little house party. You know, and I just I just was really tripped out by that, man. And then soon after that, my buddies There's a lot of I got a million stories about how we really got introduced to hip hop, man. But it was a good time, man. Small town, like I said, nothing to do really. But so when you could hear new music and I know it sounds so ancient now just hearing all of this, man. But you got to think back to a time where there was no music in the hood that you could really relate to. It was all R&B, disco, and stuff your parents listened to. But that was about it. They didn't really make the music for us. Like now the music is made for the youth and mass production. But back in the day we didn't wasn't like that. So I get to, mind you, my sister had a party when she turned I think she turned 16 or something. She didn't get me to DJ for her 16th birthday party, and I'll never let her forget that. I think she got happy to DJ for her 16th birthday party, which is still my man to this day. So big up to my man. Anyway, so we started. We started. We did my first house party, and it was me and my DJ crew. It was a bunch of us, So we had DJs, we had a little breakdancing crew, rappers, all this stuff, right? So and we did our little graffiti writing and all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny to turn back the clock and see how influenced we were by stuff that we couldn't even reach out and touch really. We see a couple movies here and there, man, but you just captivated by all of that culture. And wherever you could get it, your friends and your cousins and all of that, they come down from like New Jersey and New York or whatever, or even some of my DC and Maryland family. They would let you hear stuff that you normally hadn't, normally wouldn't hear. So we took all of that music that we collected or wherever we could get it from. They talk about digging in the crates. There was no crates to speak of, but we kind of piecemealed all the music together that you could find. And I'm gonna try to find a picture of the house that we DJed in. It was in a basement, in my cousin's basement. And I mean, I don't know how we got all those people in there. It had to be 100 plus people in this little house. I mean, not little for a family, but it was little to have 100 people in a house party. And my system was my father's sound system that we had in our living room. It was bigger than most people's stereo system, but it was, we were doing our thing, man. So we do this house party, and my man Doug, uh, me and him were the main DJs, right? So we go do the house party. We ain't know what we're doing, man. We getting the circuit breakers flipping in the house and people knocking stuff over, knocking speakers over, and uh, dirt on the needle and needle skidding across the record. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We had tapes that mixed shows we recorded off the radio and all of that kind of stuff. And we played some of this stuff in this party, man. People were going bananas, going crazy. And I just never, I really couldn't understand, you know, I don't know, I really can't articulate to you the feeling that it gave me to play music and to somebody to feel what I'm doing. But I remember that feeling to this day. And that was 1983. That was 1983, man. That's 36 years ago. And I never forgot it. So soon after, my man G, he hooked it up, so we got to play at a local club around the way. We didn't have, like I said, we didn't have many clubs. We definitely didn't have any clubs that the kids could go through. So we DJing at we DJing at Jimmy's Lounge in Culpeper, VA, which was the spot, and it stayed the spot for years, man. That's like I said, it's been written about in books and all that stuff. So it was a hot spot, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it had that juke joint type of feel to it, because you couldn't get the vibe that you got anywhere else, unless you went to one of them places like Jimmy's Lounge or Cross Creek, world famous Go-Go out in Central Virginia, man. But people that were there, they know and they remember, and that's where I first saw, my first club gig. And, we on the off night, so 'cause we kids, you know what I'm saying. We got the little breakdancing group and all that, so that was kind of the draw. And we go and play records and so forth. And then we had a crowd, and people party and all that. But I go back and I see my man Bronson DJ there, DJ Seventh Heaven, and who rest in peace, man. Big influence. I've talked about him before, but when you see stuff like that, man, you like, this dude, man, this dude's doing out of level stuff, man. And records you couldn't find, records you never heard of, and I don't know, man. It just taking me back, man, because everybody got that memory of that first kiss they had, or that first time you danced with a girl, or first time you heard this song or that song. For me and my crew, that's really what was most important, man. When you first saw somebody that you know play this music, man, that captivated us, man. Because like I said, you couldn't get it at home. Your parents wasn't listening on hip hop. They wasn't listening. They didn't really listen to any go-go or anything like that. Anything that you heard was on the radio, or somebody's record collection, or 8 tracks that we had in the car, or whatever. But man, it was all new. Like I always tell people, I said, you go in the record store back then, man, there was no rap section. There was none of that. All that stuff was just mixed up. You had to go in there and look through 5,000 records to find one joint that you were looking for. And a lot of times you didn't even know what the name of the records were. I used to go to the club and watch Bronson DJ, and just sit there and just try to like steal a glance at like the labels that he had on his records, man. Then I would try to go find out where he was getting them from, which is a whole nother video. Which uh, you talking about pressed. That's probably why I never got into, got into a lot of trouble growing up. Because I was preoccupied with music and finding music and playing music and seeing what made people move the way they moved. That was a great time, man. I just I wish I could. That's what I try to give when I DJ for people. I want them to feel like I felt when I was 12, 13 years old. And you can do that playing any kind of music. I don't care if it's old school, new school. Again, like I said, man, we just did a homecoming party, a homecoming dance at my high school alma mater, me and Black Market, in I guess it was October 2019. And man, it was like 800 kids in the joint, man, and it was wild. Crowd surfing and all that stuff, man. It was just, that's the feeling that I had growing up, and that's what I try to give these kids. I had to tell the policemen that were in the place, and the teachers and all that, say, man, just calm down, man, I got it. If they start getting too wild, I just tone it down a little bit. But this stuff moves people, man, on a spiritual level. So they want to get it out, and I'm there to help them get it out. It's a safe environment and all that, man. I just want to give them the joy that I feel when I used to hear music when I was young. So.